Hi there. So I am out here today. I'm so excited. You can see that it's just a beautiful day. The sun is shining. There it is. Yep, it sure is shining away. And it's a little bit chilly out here, so you can see I've got a sweatshirt, a little rain jacket, and my jean jacket on as well. So we'll start out with a few different layers and might be taking some off. But we are going to go down in the gully today and pull some hairy bittercress weeds, and pretty much the majority of the weeds I get around here are those. They're super easy to pull up when the ground has had a lot of moisture in it. So we've had tons of snow, we've recently had tons of rain that came through, and now is the perfect time to pull those weeds because they kind of almost have like a middle stronger, like a taproot, and then all around it they've got little tiny hairy bittercress, probably with the, I don't know, maybe that's what the name comes from, but almost like hairy, webby roots around that main taproot. And if you don't get that main taproot out, it just stays in there and it will keep producing more and more weeds. And if you let it go too long, it will go to seed, and then just like you just walk by and even just the wind can blow the seeds like everywhere in your garden. So I'm gonna go down and take advantage of this nice warm weather and pull up a bunch of the bittercress weeds. There's a couple doves that have put a nest in this tree again, and yeah, we'll see. I don't want to go near there because I think she might be in there, but I wanted to show you my daffodils while we're up here because they are popping up a little bit more. So I just want to be really careful because I don't want to scare her away. So you can see my daffodils down here are popping up a little bit more, and I don't want to get too close, but that one actually has a bud on it, so that's exciting. I also have some more daffodils popping up over here, so this will be really pretty. Yeah, so here's some hairy bittercress weed right here, and it's starting to flower, and once this flower opens up, it'll go to seed, and then it will just like, you just tap it or the wind will blow it and it sprinkles. You can actually hear it. It's like, you can hear all the seeds just falling everywhere. All right, so here are some nice daffodils popping up. I really came in here last season and kind of completely redid this area, so I'm hoping that I left them long enough to soak up energy from the sunlight to produce a bloom this season. We will see. If not, I mean, it's not the end of the world, we can figure it out. But this area over here started out completely different last season until I came in here and made a pathway and put this arbor in. So these daffodils did suffer a little bit. I had like a huge clump that went all the way in through here, and I dug up those ones that were in that pathway and I put them over here. So those ones I repurposed to this spot right here. So we'll see how those do. I do have some more daffodils popping up down here, so those are going to be nice. I just love the blue foliage of the daffodils. They're just really neat color of foliage. So there's some in there. We'll see how these do too. I didn't cut these back last year because by the time all my hosta grew in through here, I really didn't see them anymore anyway, so I kind of just let them go. So we'll see how they do. I've never actually not cut them back, so we'll see. And have some more under my flag here. That one's starting to put on a bud. And then I've got some more daffodil in this little section here. Let's walk down the gully and go grab my bag, and then we'll pull up some of these weeds. These hellebore that I cleaned up the other day are already putting on a bunch more size, so that's really neat. I love that. But I do have some hairy bittercress in here, and one thing I always try to do is anytime I have just little moments, even if it's just like 10, 15, 20 minutes to come out here and just do little tasks like pull weeds or whatever, I try to get out here and do it. And I'm so glad that I've been doing that over this winter, because this Bittercress weed, it grows phenomenally all through the winter. It looks green and gorgeous, and so I've been able to come out here and pull bits of it at a time, and so now I'm not so overwhelmed with just like my whole garden being taken over by weeds, because over the past several months I've been able to find little moments of time to get out here and pull them, you know, in little chunks. So that's what we're gonna continue to do today. We're just gonna find little chunks of it everywhere and pull as much as we have time to pull. I just got back from church Sunday today, April 2nd, and my mom and my sister's birthday was on March 31st, and I was traveling for work that day, so I didn't get to hang out with them, but we're all gonna go to the Chinese buffet today and celebrate my mom and my sister's birthday. Yes, my mom had my sister on her birthday, so that's kind of cool. But anyway, I don't have a lot of time. Like, this is, you know, this is the only time I've got today, and then tomorrow, it's Monday, gotta get back to work. So I'm just really excited to spend the moments that I do have out here and get to work in my garden, because that's what like gives me life. That's what keeps me positive, and you know, work can be stressful, and lots of things in your life can be stressful, but man, there's something about getting out in this fresh air, and especially pulling weeds. Like, it just, I don't know, I've always loved pulling weeds. It just feels really good to just pull the trash out of my garden, just pull the crap out of my garden. I feel like it's like I'm pulling it out of my life almost when I pull the weeds out. I made it pretty much all the way through that section. We did find a few up there, little one-off ones that I'll go pull, but I'd like to kind of tackle this section right here. So let's start. I'm just gonna pull this one out here, give it a little shake, because I want you to see the weeds. And I normally wouldn't shake it like that. If these white flowers were open, I'd be like, oh heck no, because I would have just like planted a whole bunch more hairy bittercress in my garden by doing that. But we're safe for now because it hasn't went to seed yet. But this is what it looks like. It's beautiful. It almost looks like a pretty ground cover or something, but ugh. So yeah, you can see all these like webby roots around here, and then in the middle, see if I can find it, you can see there's like this more stronger root right here, and if you don't pull that out, it's really easy to just like pull it, and there, you can see it. You can see that middle root there. If you leave that in there, it'll just keep coming back and back. So you really have to kind of get your fingers down in there, wiggle it and pull it, and it comes up a lot easier. Like I said, when the ground has been moisturized by the rain and the snow. We'll just go in here, give it a shake, make sure to get that root out.
Change your ways. I'm tired of being lonely night and day. Well, around the town you chase, there'll be someone in your place. If you don't stop your cheating, I'm telling you. Take a tip from me. I'm not the foolish son I used to be. If you think you're treating
Oh, see this one right here? I didn't get the whole thing out. It snapped right at that main taproot. And this will grow back a bigger and better bittercress weed if I don't get that out. So I'm just gonna kind of grab it and get the most out that I can. So I got some of it, that rest of that root out. While I'm out here, I think I'm actually going to rake out all of the like sticks and things, the leaves that have fallen down from the canopy trees here in there, and just like give that area a good cleaning, and then we won't have to deal with that later. So sometimes I do that, you know, sometimes I come out and I do like thought we were dealing with a dead mouse, but we're good. We're good. Sometimes I come out and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do, you know, I'm gonna weed my whole garden. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go around and we're just gonna weed today. Sometimes I just take a section and I weed, clean, prune, split, whatever, and just do it in a section. Kind of just whatever I'm feeling for that day, and I try not to put like, you know, stipulations on myself like, oh, I'm gonna get all this done today, because like, let's be honest, that never happens. Like, you get out in your garden, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go do this today, and then you see all these other 14 things that you have to do, and so you just, at that point, you kind of think of what's my priority and what do I have time to do at this moment, and what do I feel like doing. It shouldn't be like a chore. It should be something that is fun and gives you energy and gives you joy. So right now, it would give me joy to just clean this little area up right here. I already have this little section cleaned up, which brought me so much joy the other day, fixing, you know, all those rocks and cleaning up my hellebore. So I feel like I just want to complete the rest of this area. So that's what we're going to work on right now.
That never takes a turn, and the heart is hard that has no chance to yearn. I have loved you much too much, you big old such and such. Now you better straighten out, I'm telling you. Hey, I loved you much too much, you big old such and such. Now you better straighten out, I'm telling you. Well, I left my home down on the rural route. I told my pa that I was stepping out to get the honky-tonk blues. Yeah, the honky-tonk blues. Hey Lord, I got that honky-tonk blues. Well, I went to a dance and wore out my shoes. I woke up this morning wishing I could lose and jump in honky-tonk blues. Yeah, the honky-tonk blues. Well, Lord, I got that honky-tonk blues.
Man, that feels so good to get that cleaned up. Just that little bit. I think I started at kind of like this big tree here and worked my way through this little seating section to Raccoon Alley, and it just looks so much better. So I'll show you what we did. And it looks really bare now, but I have a ton of hosta and just perennials, heuchera, that are getting ready to just pop up through the soil and make their presence known. So let's go through and look at what we did. It's a lot more cleaned up. All the leaf mulch is gone for the most part. All these little like sticks and things that drop from the canopy trees They're all raked up and gone. And I usually just throw it in that side of the woods, all that kind of stuff, because it breaks down really, really easily. And I keep kind of creeping into that side anyway, so it kind of creates a nice soil over there for when I'm ready to use it. But I'm thinking it looks pretty good. You can see I have like some mulch here, and this is kind of where we had stopped with the mulch a couple years ago, and then I kind of continued to add this section in a few years ago, and last year we didn't mulch. So this area right here in particular is like basically just soil. So I will have to keep an eye on it for, you know, weeds and things like that until we do get mulch in there this season. But I think it looks really pretty, and all in through here there's just hosta getting ready to pop up out of the soil, and they'll be popping up any second. This one I probably will have to dig up and possibly split. You can see the roots are starting to be exposed. It's just a really giant hosta, and you can actually, I don't know if you can tell, but it's like mounding up right there, so it kind of mounds. So I probably should dig that up and split it this spring, and put some sections another place and kind of get that back down into the dirt. But I seen something else popping up over here, and I cannot remember what it was. Oh, right here. I can't remember what I put there, but I know I moved a few things this last fall, and I put 3 things here. So here's one, and then there's one over here, and I cannot for the life of me remember what that is. I mean, the leaf kind of looks like a lamb's ear, but I know I didn't put that here. So we'll see. It's kind of exciting to see things pop up. I know I came in here and put some obsidian hikora in here. I think I've got 5 of them in here, so they're kind of in a jagged little swoop right here. So those will be fun to watch pop up this season. I think one of my favorite things to do is come in here every season and fix these rocks. I love to kind of organize them back up and put them in a nice tidy line, kind of like I did that one. So I do that with all my rocks every season. I even do it with my path, so I'm really looking forward to that. But we'll just continue to move down here and pulling out the weeds, and then coming up here we'll start working on this. So you can kind of see how this is cleaned up here, and then coming down here past Raccoon Alley here, it's a little bit messy. Got lots more leaf mulch in here, lots of weeds that have popped back up, and so we'll get this one clean and in shape. I also have to clean up from this dead tree that my husband cut down. I used it here to kind of line a pathway, so I'm looking forward to cleaning all this crap up too. But while we're here, my bleeding hearts are popping up, so that's really exciting. These were the most beautiful plants last year. I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about it multiple times, but I love to buy plants on clearance, and when you buy plants on clearance, you don't necessarily need that particular plant at that time. It's just kind of like an impulse buy for me anyway. And so I get it for super cheap. I bring it home and I just put it in the ground somewhere and let it kind of grow on until I find a home for it in my garden. And so that was kind of the story with these bleeding hearts. I have 3 of them in here, and I brought them home, and then, like, I don't know, they were probably in just like a hangout spot for a few years. And then 2 years ago, I finally, as I was putting in this whole area right here, I put all this area in 2020. This was all woods, and I cleaned it all up and added all this in 2020 during lockdown. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna move those bleeding hearts, and I think they would look really pretty behind these 2 big trees next to my bench that I found on the side of the road. Well, I didn't find it, but my mom found it, or I think our friend Beth Matthews, my mom's good friend and a great friend of our family, she found this bench on the side of the road, and she took it to my mom's house, and I was like, I'll take it. So now it's in my yard. But anyway, a rabbit trail, that's what happened with these bleeding hearts, I had them in just like a hangout spot for a few years until I found their true home, which is right here. And then the 2021, they were gorgeous. 2022, they were even more gorgeous last year. So I'm really excited to see how they look this year. And I'm just seeing right now that they're finally starting to pop up. But I have to be really careful because, you know, this time of year I'm out here cleaning up and raking up and just like kind of trampling around in my garden. And these things I usually have to put like a stake wherever they are until they kind of get up and get established, because I've stepped on them a couple times, which is kind of sad. But anyway, I also wanted to show you while we're over here this pot. So it was getting late in the season and I was trying to transplant all of my perennials out of my planters into the ground for the winter, and I left a heuchera in this pot to see how it would do. And so it looks like it's doing really great. So let's take a look at it. So here it is, and I cannot remember what it is. It might be a mahogany monster, maybe heuchera, but it is alive and it's probably gonna, you know, start putting out some new growth. It's got its first little leaf right there. I'll probably come in here and cut these back. Oh, there's another little leaf too. So I'm excited that that kind of wintered over. The rest of this pot was all annuals, and then I think I had like a, I don't know, maybe like a Brenner in there that I transplanted. But yeah, everything's looking pretty good. And it's just really fun to come out here this time of year and see all of the plants that have just survived the winter and they are just making a comeback for another year, another go round. So it's really exciting to see all that. So next time around, I think we will start up at Raccoon Alley, make our way down this little hill here in the gully, and we'll clean all this crap up. And these hellebore are just so beautiful. I think they are really enjoying the fact that we cut them back. They've got their time to shine now, and they are blooming so pretty. And these, they have a really long vase life. If you wait till the petals here, they've kind of stiffen up a little bit, and that's a great time to cut them for a cut flower arrangement. Somebody was asking about my Carex the other day, and here is a little shot of my Carex. I did not prune this Carex back. I think whoever asked me, you might have asked, do you prune your Carex all the way back to the ground? I do not. However, the deer love to do that for me. The deer and the rabbit. They graciously walk through my garden and have a grand old time. They make their way through Raccoon Alley and they just, you know, have a little nibble here, have a little nibble here, a little nibble there. So to answer your question, I do not cut my Carex back. If I could help it, I would leave it. I would never cut it back because it's kind of like a nice semi-evergreen throughout the winter. But I can't really help it that the deer and the rabbit come through here and they need something to eat over the winter, and then they pick my Carex. So I've never had a problem with it not flushing back. It's kind of like my heuchera. The Carex and the heuchera, those are two things that, you know, the deer, they really stay away from during the summertime, but they do come through here in the winter time and just eat to their heart's content. And those are two things that I kind of make an exception on. For the most part, I just try to stay away from planting things that the deer eat. That's my kind of deer resistant trick, is I just don't plant things that the deer eat. But there are a couple exceptions to that, plants that I really love like heuchera and Carex. So I kind of, you know, they do come through here and they eat them in the winter, but they have no problems flushing back for the spring summer season. It just might take them an extra couple weeks to come back from what the deer and the rabbits have done to them. But yeah, anyway, long-winded answer to your question. I do not cut my Carex back, but the deer do it for me. So anyway, I think we're probably getting close to the time I gotta meet my mom and my family at the Chinese restaurant. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope that you're able to just get out in your garden and do something, even if it is just for 10-20 minutes. Boy, it feels so good. All right, we'll see you guys later. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
In the honky-tonk blues. Well, Lord, I got that honky-tonk blues. I'm gonna tuck my worries underneath my arm and scat right back to my pappy's farm and leave these honky-tonk blues. Yeah, those honky-tonk blues.